Hey everybody, this is Anthony from Anthony's Customs. I'm back to do another review. This is going to be a two-part comparative review of the Voyager Class Optimus Primes. I have the mold from the first movie and the first mold of the ROTF Prime. That's what this one is, but it's really the same figure as the first one. Then I have the Battlehooks Optimus Prime, the Voyager Class of course. That's also from the ROTF movie. And then we have the Voyager Class DOTM Optimus Prime. Figured I'd do this review so you can see which one you want to pick up, maybe if you haven't decided yet. There are some major problems with some of these and some really good things with some of these, so pay attention and hopefully you'll be able to make a decision. I'm going to start off by just giving a height measurement of all three. The first one, just about 7.5 inches, unless you count these guns back here, the smokestacks, then he's almost 10. ROTF battle blades, just about 7 inches, and this one just under 7 inches. So these two are basically the same size. This one's a lot skinnier and this one's a lot bigger than the other two, but really kind of weird. Let's go ahead and start with that one since it is the first mold that they used for the Voyager Class Optimus Prime. I guess I might as well talk about paint. This one has a really weird paint scheme. It's got dark red, dark blue, and then like this taupe beige color. There's no silver, there's no fire engine red, there's no nothing. There's no flames. It's just really weird figure. The mold itself is really weird as well. It doesn't look anything like the Optimus Prime from the movie. In my opinion, that's a bad thing. It's a decent enough transformer, I guess, if it wasn't supposed to be Optimus Prime. His backpack is absolutely gigantic. It's the whole front end of the truck. It even looks like it still. And then, of course, when you put his guns back here, it's even bigger. So I like to just leave these off, even if I don't have him holding them. It makes him a little bit smaller. And he can hold the guns here in each hand. They go on that peg like that, and they fire also. This part right here fires out if you press that button. Head sculpt is okay. Mine's got a little bit of a mushed ear piece, but it's not bad though. Looks pretty good still. The rest of the sculpt is pretty poor in my opinion. It doesn't look anything like the movie at all. Not even close. They got these wheels kind of in the right spot, but that's about as good as it gets. He's got gold windows. I guess they're supposed to be windows. I don't know. It just looks really bad. The only flames you have on robot mode are back here because they're on the truck. Just looks really bad. He's got some decent like Autobot logo paint app thing there and some Cybertronian symbols, but that's not very good in my opinion. So this guy, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. He's a solid enough transformer, but he's just not Optimus Prime from the movie, not really at all. So robot mode for this guy, 4 out of 10. Let's move on to the Hunt for the Decepticons, ROTF Prime. Now this one, in my opinion, is the best of the three. It's almost a shrunken down version of the Leader Class Optimus Prime from ROTF. So it's a really nice figure in my opinion. It's got a lot of good different paint colors. What am I trying to say? It's got a lot of molded parts that are different colors. There we go. Jeez. Didn't get a lot of sleep last night. Does have a lot of paint on it too though. We've got some of the shiny silver on there. Metallic for the red and yellow down there with the flames. Metallic gold in there on his chest. Biggest complaint I have for this guy, there are two. They're both relatively small, but they are the biggest complaints I have for his robot mode. Number one, his chest is kind of hollow right there. Doesn't look that great. Not a big deal, but it is a problem. And number two, it kind of looks like he's wearing sneakers. Just the way they have his feet colored all gray like that. Looks kind of weird, but like I said, they're not big complaints. They just are the only complaints I have, really. He has the swing out swords. They just rotate. They don't have a mechanism in them like the Leader Class. They do tuck in there, but not very well, so I just leave them out. He has guns. His little canister things, like the Buster Leader Class Prime. Only they don't combine or anything, they just turn into regular guns. But they are pretty cool. They come off of his back and snap into his hands. And then he's got dual cannons. So that's kind of nice. Pretty cool thing. The sculpt on this guy overall is just really nice. It looks just like the movie. I mean, as close as you can get for having a toy. He's got virtually no backpack. It's nice and compact in there. It's accurate to the movie very closely. He's got the flames on his arms on the back and back here. Got these pieces back here that are just molded in to make it look more accurate. He's got the flames down here for the wheels, which is accurate. The feet aren't quite perfect, but they are pretty close, so it's not too bad. The knee pads move. He's got full articulation. I should mention that on this guy also. He does have full standard articulation. Shoulders, elbows, wrists rotate, or I mean they flip right there. Hips regular, knees regular. The feet don't really have much movement at all. Just really part of the transformation, so no movement there. And then the head is on a swivel. Okay, get him out of the way. He's a bad figure. This guy, regular articulation just like the leader class right there. He's got two different swivels in the bicep, so this can be moved however you want. You can move his arm separately, and you can see inside the gold part moves with the arm, not with the bicep, so that's kind of cool. Got the joint there. Hands don't move. They're kind of stuck in there, but I can live with that. No waist articulation, unfortunately. Legs are, like always, forward, back, side to side. The knee, normal, nice long lower leg. That's how Optimus should be. His feet have inside-outside movement and forward-to-back movement. So he's got a lot of articulation in the ankle, which I really like because it helps you to get him in some nice poses. And then his head is also on a swivel, like normal. So this guy's robot mode, in my opinion, is just about perfect for a Voyager Class Optimus. I really can't complain. He's got the smokestacks, he's got the shoulder spikes. It really is just anything you could want for in a Voyager Prime. Could it be better? Sure, anything always can. But this one really, for the price you're paying for it, you can't beat it. Speaking of which, I have two of these still mint in the package available if anybody is interested in buying one. That's not the purpose of this video, but I figured I'll let you know. I do have two of them, so just send me a message if you're interested. Alright, let's set him aside and look at the newest one. I know I recently did a review of this guy, but I might as well compare him again. This is the DOTM Optimus Prime. In my opinion, he's not very good either. He's got a very, very tiny upper body. His legs are gigantic. His lower legs especially, which they're supposed to be longer than the upper legs. In the movie they are, but these are just a little bit overboard, I think. He's got standard knee articulation, no foot movement at all, standard hip articulation. He does have a waist twist, so that's a plus. Shoulder is, as you would expect, in and out, side to side. He's got a bicep swivel, and then the double jointed elbow. Unfortunately, you cannot make him bend up and then really turn his wrist out. He's got motion there, but it's just, with the wheel in the way and everything, it's just a really clumsy design, I think. So even though the articulation is in the wrist, it's almost useless. Then his head is on a swivel also. This guy's sculpt, I guess they were going for a more Cybertronian design. I know the Voyager Mech Tech Optimus Prime, the one with the trailer, looks much better than this one, but this one is just pretty goofy. He's got these huge canisters back here. His feet are gigantic. His head's not really the right shape. His chest isn't really the right shape. He doesn't have smokestacks. It's just kind of a missed opportunity, I think. It's not terrible, but it's not very good. He does have his Mech Tech weapon, so that's a plus for him if you like the Mech Tech weapon. If you don't, it's a complete waste, and they should have put the effort into making the figure better. So I'm going to give this guy, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. This one gets a 4 out of 10. This one gets a 6 out of 10. And I saved the best for last. This one, which I like so much, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. He's very close to perfect in my opinion. I really don't have many complaints about him. The ones I have are very negligible. They're not worth complaining about, really. So the original Voyager Class Optimus 2007 movie and ROTF. Not a very good figure. Stand up. Very hard to get him to stand with that gigantic backpack. Alright. There's the 2007 Optimus right there. ROTF Optimus right there. Battle Blades. This is also the ROTF. They use the same mold twice, so it doesn't really matter. And this is the Dark of the Moon Optimus. So this one gets a 4, this one gets a 6, this one gets a 9. If you're going to get one, get this one. Great figure in my opinion. You should definitely pick it up. Keep an eye out for part 2 of this review where I talk about their vehicle modes a little bit. And keep an eye out for more reviews and more custom figures. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep collecting.